And we are live back for yet another exciting week. I may be on my lonesome for this one, but that does not mean you guys are getting any less attention from me pertaining to all things that are geek. I'm very excited to talk about everything that we got coming up. We got some major news that literally just dropped like 30 minutes ago pertaining to geekdom, and we have tons more stuff coming up for each and every single one of you as we are slowly and surely getting ready for another great night of X-Men 97, Star Wars The Bad Batch, and more. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brett here back for Geek Variants. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time we're going to be starting. Oh, I see you, Hockey. I see you over there in the chat. Big dubs. We got big, exciting things coming up. I mean, I am just flat out thrilled to see that we have such great geek content coming up. I am beyond happy to see where we're at with the state of events with everything. I'm also just happy I was on time in general because let's be real here. Sometimes I'd be 10 minutes early, sometimes I'd be 10 minutes late. I'm trying to walk that fine line for each one of you, the viewers. So make sure that I'm here on time for you guys because you guys took the time to, schedule yourself so you can sit here and watch some great geek content with, us, the Geek Variants, where we pride ourselves on talking about all things geek, whether it be an Avatar, whether it's going to be Fallout, which we will have covered in some aspect. We will definitely have tons more great stuff. Kaiju number 8 is less than 2 weeks away. I just got finished writing my script for how we're going to break that down, talk about it. I'm really excited to go ahead and share all that information with you guys. But first things first, with all things anime, we have Chainsaw Man is confirmed coming back 2024 this fall. Mappa once again taking the reins for that exciting show. So I'm pumped to see where that is, where that's going, what that's covering. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff that entails. So I'm definitely thrilled to see that we have that coming back in any and all aspect. I'm wondering if the opening is going to remain the same. It's one of the anime that I actually haven't read. I want to go into this one blind for like My Hero Academia, for like Jujutsu Kaisen, for a little bit of solo leveling. I knew where things are going. I know what's going to take place. The mangas are out there. Go support the authors. Go buy that kind of content if you can. I encourage that kind of stuff. In fact, I am just finished reading up, at least rereading, I should say. This is Kaiju number 8. This is the third book for them. Just finished rereading this again, just so I can get a fresh perspective. And then I'm all the way caught up through book number 8 online. Got a service online to where you can read all things manga. Been doing that. Been really enjoying that. It's really been helping me stay up on all the stuff that's coming up for you guys. Running a geek channel is absolutely no joke, especially when you want to be someone who prides yourselves on having good takes and it pride yourselves on having a good level of information, at least going into the show. Some of the shows I just love going in, you know, insanely blind for the viewer. And I want to be just as surprised as you guys are when certain things pop off, like Hell's Paradise and Chainsaw Man. Let's see what other ones. There's a couple other ones that were going on. For most of Solo Leveling, I want to say I wasn't caught up till like the basically the last episode of it, which was another fantastic ending for a season. So many exciting things to cover with that. Because I mean, look, our boy Sung Jin Woo finally started embracing some new level of powers, some new level of authority, and we had so much good stuff happen and so much good stuff come out of that. The only like insane thing that kind of like broke through with it is the fact that he's now a necromancer. Like of all things to be, you say the word necromancer. Good guy is not what you should think of unless you're doing like a D&D campaign and you have, one of those goofy necromancers who's like loves doing all that wordplay. Is like, all right, we're gonna go on this quest and avenge my brother. You have my sword, you have my axe. Here's your brother. Like you have one of those necromancers who just kind of like doesn't take anything seriously whatsoever, which we Geek Variants also strongly support because we love all things shenanigans within a certain time frame. So I'm very, very happy that we've been able to build up a community with each and every one of you, kind of getting to know you, getting to talk with you, getting to see where all things are. Because I remember, if I remember correctly, Hockey, we met you during the Avatar live stream we were doing. Well, I think it was part one. We just finished, I think, like episode 3, episode 4. So it was like a fantastic time to like really in between episodes talk, get to know you, see where things were, kind of cover some lighter topics. And I had my boy Will with me, so we're able to like go out and enjoy that stuff. I thought it was the Bad Batch. Ooh, that might actually have been the Bad Batch. Yeah, you're right. It was the Bad Batch. We were talking, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago, because you were talking to me about some cool Marvel characters. We talked about all things Marvel. We talked about how much you love Captain Rex. That's you. That's my bad. You're watching too. Well, yeah, we definitely had a fantastic time. It was really nice getting to like talk with all things, geek with you, because like I love being able to be well versed in talking about all things geek with people, because you had such a fascinating background, like how you became a geek, how you started like talking about geek stuff. It's really, really cool to get to know the community in any way, shape, or form, and getting to know you individually, because like right now I'm assuming it's going to be probably you, me, and then maybe I think one more person in the chat. Probably tonight is going to be basically, hey, what do you want to talk about? Where do you want to take things? We can go ahead and have these conversations, because I'm sure as a Marvel fan, in some respects, you were definitely excited to see what X-Men 97 has been doing lately, because last week's episode it was something there. I was definitely passionate about this series now, but when it originally was announced, I was just kind of like, because truth be told, I saw like 2.5 seasons of X-Men 92, and from there, I was just like, I was watching other stuff. I kind of missed the boat just based upon the time period of when I was born, I think, and in all the great reruns and everything ongoing there, just never got into it. I was just focused on covering things elsewhere. I just wanted to watch Batman the animated series. I wanted to watch Gargoyles. I wanted to watch shows like Dexter's Lab. I wanted to watch shows like Ed, Ed and Eddie, Samurai Jack, Teen Titans. My mind was elsewhere. I was born in 93. X-Men 92 was, it just missed most of that window for me. I got to see Batman the animated series during reruns, and then I was just absolutely hooked. And it, in my opinion, it's the greatest animated series that's ever dropped. And I've never felt that passionately about another series ever. And the closest I got to reliving that was covering, Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that was an absolutely another phenomenal show where every season was just banger after banger after banger. And it's like there are no bad episodes in this series. There's no bad time period during this show. There's, I think, maybe one or two slower points, but at the same time, there's nothing to be like, dang, this show is bad. Not a single episode aired from it where you're like, this one could be bad. It finished strong. It came on strong. It endured strongly, and it was fantastic to see the character growth of people like Aang and people like Zuko. And then from there, I started like watching other shows, and I've had other people be like, "Hey, check out this show. I think you'll like it." And that's kind of like how I fell in with Adventure Time. I didn't really think it was all that great of a show. Yeah, Avatar is phenomenal. Like, do you have a favorite character, Hockey? Because I know I got mine. I just want to see what yours is first and foremost. See if we got like the same great taste in geeks, personal opinion on that one for sure. Because everyone's entitled to a favorite character, even if your favorite character is just Momo. Because like when I was watching the Avatar live action, anytime Momo was any scene, I was always hyped for Momo, just because it threw Will the heck off. It was a great time. I really enjoyed doing that as a live stream, kind of like with the community. Um, Normally, I'd be like live streaming this to Facebook as well, but honestly, who's going to be awake this hour on Facebook? Who's like, hey, I want to sit down and watch, talk about all things geek this way. So I got Twitch up. I love talking with the Twitch community. As small as it is, it's a very passionate community, and it's one I'm loving getting to know. So that's always been a fantastic time with that. And then YouTube, we've grown a community that I have no idea. Just so blessed to be able to see anything that the group was there. Zuko's uncle's pretty good. I like Toph and Saga. I want to spell the names right. You don't got to worry about spelling with me, my friend. Spelling is not something I'm going to be critiquing anybody on. I make plenty of my own mistakes. And if you read anything I typed out to like say Will or to Tony, you'd be like, are you sure you know what you're talking about? And it's like, I know exactly what I mean. Like I can verbalize it, which is fine. And then Iroh, Zuko's uncle, was fantastic. The life lessons he gave us, how kind he was, how generous he was, and the fact that he went from being just a regular general in an army who did terrible and bad decisions that cost him, his son's life, and then for him to turn around and be a great father figure to Zuko was amazing. Toph, you cannot go wrong with Toph. Toph is my favorite character in Avatar. So, still knowing that her character is coming out next season with the Netflix series, so hyped, so excited. Very, very much looking forward to how they do that. I've heard people say that they were going to make her not blind for the Netflix show, and I have to say that would be the worst decision you can ever make. Maybe calm down with the blind jokes as much, because making fun of any community like that is not necessary in today's day and age. But when Avatar aired, if anyone was going to be, making fun of the blind community, it would be somebody who was in fact blind. So, and yeah, hockey, I have to agree, it'd be a stupid decision. I couldn't back it in any way, shape, or form. Like, who she is so much greater because she is in fact blind. Because being able to bend the earth at the level she does, and to be able to bend metal the way she does without any vision, and just feel the vibrations in the earth and kick people's butts left, right, and center that way, with the amount of attitude and sass she's giving you. Like, her scene with the boulder comes to mind, for sure, where she's just whooping some serious butt. And then Sokka, I mean, come on, he's hilarious. Sokka's a good dude. Oh yeah, I understand hockey. It's a late night. It's a late time. We appreciate you coming and taking the time to like come see us, come hang out with us. I mean, there's so many other things to be doing at 2:40 in the morning. From what you're saying, like I totally understand, totally get it. If you don't make the show, hey, is what it is. It was great catching back up with you again. We're trying to make these more regular. I don't believe Will be doing one of these. Oh yeah, you got school in the morning. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. It's like I don't believe we'll be doing a live stream tomorrow night. I think he'll just do the regular Invincible coverage tomorrow night. I'm actually not going to be in on that one. I have new employment coming in. I just got hired on for a new job. Start Thursday morning, bright and early. Want to actually have a good first impression, and then from there we can kind of see like how things play out. I want to be a great employee in any regard for anybody and anything. Thank you, hockey. Thank you for the congratulations. But I definitely still going to be here for Star Wars: The Bad Batch and carry on like these midnight conversations. I may end up not covering X-Men 97 at night per se, but I'll definitely try and make the afternoon coverage with the person whose opinion you should care about X-Men 97. Tony, he knows X-Men like you wouldn't believe, and his opinion and his breakdowns on them are what you're there for. You're not there for me. I just kind of like, hey, ask him a couple questions. I shut my mouth, let him go, let him talk about all things, whether he wants to talk about Morph, whether he wants to talk about Jean Grey, Cyclops, Beast, Rogue, Bishop, Aurora, Jubilee, Gambit, Wolverine, any of them. Just have at it, have fun, let him do his thing. He knows the comics exceptionally well, and I'm always excited to see what he's going to say to that. And then Will has a great opinion concerning all things Invincible, so I'm very happy to see what's going on with that one. Invincible, I've been going blind with that one, so having Anissa show up and then having the book reader's reaction be as loud as it is means there's going to be something crazy going on with that, and she's going to be more of a pivotal character than I think I would ever surmise. I haven't seen any spoilers. I couldn't speculate if I wanted to, like where things are going to go. But I don't think her and Mark are done by any means. I think there's probably going to be another fight at some point between them to what extent that fight goes, whether it's a brutal beatdown or she needs to like use him for something to like further the Viltrumite cause. Who knows? There's a lot to digest with that, and the fact she knew Omni Man as well as she did, and still went light on him because it looked like she was stronger than Omni Man, and that's bad news for our boy. Very, very bad news in any number of respects, and that's something that you wouldn't want to have happen. Because for a dude named Invincible, he gets his butt beat like crazy amounts of times. I think he needs to have like a Saiyan-ish healing factor where like every time he almost dies, he gets stronger. He needs that kind of like amp up, that boost, like yesterday, because he would be, you know, past god tier character at this moment in time. So either way, long story short, tomorrow night's Invincible coverage will be just Will, but he's gonna be in great hands. I'm dying. Thanks, Hockey. Have a good night, man. Appreciate you. I can definitely understand I can put a lot of people to sleep. So have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you hanging out with us on Twitch. Still going to be talking about all things geek as we wait here. Still got another 15 minutes as we're kind of waiting in here. I still haven't even gotten into Star Wars The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch, last week's episode, a lot of people have a visceral reaction on because of Asajj Ventress, the way her character ended, so to speak. They had a great book on things. Oh, it's all good, Hockey. It's all good. Get some rest. Have a good time at school, all that good stuff. Thanks for stopping in. And then with Star Wars, Asajj Ventress, they wrote in a good ending book wise for her. They had her covered in a lot of great respects. Her her moment was perfectly encapsulated by like everything involving her and her relationship, her abilities with the Force. They had a really, really good conclusion on it because Asajj Ventress was originally written into Clone Wars because George Lucas's daughter wanted a stronger female presence in Star Wars. Because at that moment in time, before the Clone Wars really got ripping and roaring, it was literally Padme and it was Leia. That's your list of female characters. And it's like, yeah, we need more female inclusion in Star Wars. You're darn right. You're darn right. Like, there's only two here. There's so many more ways we can go about things. And sure, we got characters like Yaddle, who was created to kind of fill a bit of a gap. We kind of had a couple characters peek in and out who were strong female senators who were diplomatic, they were wise, they were intelligent, they were able to put forth their knowledge in a very expert manner to push the causes that they needed to and get people like, moving in the right direction, but at the same time wasn't like she was out there kicking butt and moving armies, dismantling people, taking out tons of things that were just out here like making things happen. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Asajj Ventress is created. She does a phenomenal job, even though whatever side she's on, whether it be good or the bad, because she was a Sith primarily, and then she was the kind of a Jedi-ish character, but she was more on the bounty hunter side of things. She got a whole relationship. She had a lot of good stuff happen with that, and then they were together for a while. Things were really passionate. They were really together. And then the show kind of ended, leaving things in an interesting area. And then they wrote the book. She died for protecting her lover, and that was something that helped them go through things together, make things work. Had a really, really good ending on it, I felt. And then all of a sudden, she's being retconned to be re-included in the Bad Batch. Normally, I would be horrifically apprehensive of where we're at with things for Star Wars in that regard, just because of the fact that anytime you're retconning characters, and with Disney's history of retconning currently, I'm not entirely sold on their level of success, even though, we're doing a live stream dual watch on two Disney products, one of which is a complete rehash because this was just a continuance of what happened with X-Men 92. And then Bad Batch is a continuance of something that has been happening over time because of the wisdom and the knowledge of one Dave Filoni, who's done an exceptional job of nurturing and taking care of and protecting the Star Wars universe at large that we have ongoing, making sure everyone is, safe and in good hands. They are being nurtured. Their things are being pushed in a positive manner. And then we're having, a character changed who the fans had a very passionate connection with. It'd be like kind of retconning everything involving Ahsoka at a certain point. You'd be like, I don't think you should do that. People have a very strong feeling with Ahsoka and with her connection. So if they retconned her, the fans wouldn't be happy. So the fact that they had basically retcon her counterpart, Asajj Ventress, because Star Wars needed they needed a femme fatale. They needed a strong female character who's whooping butts, putting Anakin in his place, being a little bit sassy with him, kind of having a good back and forth with everything involving these characters. So having Asajj on one side and then having Ahsoka on the other was really, really nice. Taking the story of Asajj and kind of doing this twist on it that they are, where the book had such a definitive and almost, I don't want to say perfect, but I mean it was picturesque ending to the character. So to have things kind of be changed on a moment's notice to where now we have to kind of reconsider the fact, how are you going to end this character you just shoved back in this show? Star Wars The Bad Batch was a good show. It's always been a good show. This has been its best season, in my opinion, by far. And Asajj is only in it for 10 or 15 minutes. She was in it for this episode. I don't know how much more of her we're going to see. I don't know how much more of her is going to be included. But if you don't do something to tie up this loose end, or you're not doing like her own show, or you're not going to do another animated thing to where she's included, or you're not going to live action her, because she's definitely doable in live action. But at the same time, I have some apprehension. The fact that she's got that, all natural white skin look, which we saw when they tried covering the Inquisitors in Obi-Wan, it was a mixed bag as far as getting the makeup and the costume and the effects to be put on in such a manner that you believed it and it looks authentic, because like they did Cad Bane like absolutely perfectly when he was included for Book of Boba. But then you go to Obi-Wan and you found out that the budget was slashed and they weren't given as much resources as they should have been. And then you see those costumes, you're like, yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. That checks out. It's like the story for me for Obi-Wan was fine. The last 3 episodes were far better than the first 3 episodes. And then honestly, like Andor didn't get much budget at all. And Andor was a smash hit. For me, Andor was the best Star Wars show I've seen ever. I'm counting Mandalorian season 1 and season 2, and I have a Mandalorian poster right up there of our boy Din Djarin, who I will not disrespect in any way, shape, or form, but I enjoyed Andor season 1, so the fact Andor season 2 is going to be ripping and roaring and coming around the corner, I'm stoked for that. The fact that we also have Chainsaw Man coming up this fall now, just literally got announced 2 or 3 hours ago that'll be coming out this fall. Really excited for that, which means we'll have Solo Leveling, because they're saying Solo Leveling, the part 2 of season 1 or season 2, it depends how you want to break it. It's Cour, Cour, that is going to be in the fall of this year, as well as, we have Chainsaw Man dropping then. On top of that, Hell's Paradise is still rumored to come back. We have My Hero Academia coming back in like a month. We have That Time I Got Reincarnated in Slam already ongoing. It kind of snuck up on me that one is already out. Kaiju number 8 is less than 2 weeks away from dropping. Demon Slayer is probably, I want to say, like a month out. So there's a lot of exciting stuff to see, a lot of exciting stuff to break down. Right now, it's a great time to be a geek. As we're going towards June, we have Star Wars The Acolyte. We have The Boys Season 4. And then on top of that, we also have another amazing show, House of the Dragon Season 2 coming out. And that season is going to be just bloody from jump. I don't know how many of you have read the books. I have the books over here behind my Can't Adult Today sign, or it's directly behind, they're directly behind Daemon and Khal Drogo and Jon Snow. The Jon Snow one is not my pop, so just gonna be honest about that one. I'm not a huge fan of Jon, but Drogo and Daemon. Daemon's one I bought personally because I love that one. I love the character. I love how he's going about things. I mean, obviously he's a Targaryen, so I don't agree with everything they're doing for many, many obvious reasons. But he was a cool character. The actor did a phenomenal job. He's very interesting. He moves the plot forward in a lot of great ways, and he's more decisive than a lot of the other characters who, if you just let them continue to play out the game and the schemes in which they were doing, House of the Dragons would be like 8 or 9 seasons long. And I don't necessarily think you need 8 or 9 seasons, but I mean, I believe if you didn't have as many time skips as you did in the first season, you'd probably have, 5 or 6 seasons. How much of that would have been amazing content? That's up for debate. Because a lot of people were saying that Rings of Power should never come back, but Rings of Power has already been, greenlit for 3 or 4 seasons. So we're gonna have to figure out what that's all gonna entail. And I'm truthfully excited for that when it does come out. And then Fallout is like literally, I want to say like 9 or so days away. Let me check my calendar on that one because Fallout drops on the 11th. Kaiju number 8 drops on the 13th. Rebel Moon Part 2 drops on the 19th, which that one I'm not really all that excited for because Rebel Moon, which was the Zack Snyder film, was on Netflix, I want to say, was terrible. It was one of the worst films I've seen. There were so many good pieces in it. The actors and actresses did their best, but he's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that at certain moments in time, he just cannot write. It's not his thing, it's not his gift. And for him to have like his wife be another writer, I feel like you need a non-personal bias when you're doing stuff like that in order to go ahead and try and have that kind and style pushed forward. You need someone who can be actually critical of you, like to the umpteenth degree. You want someone, I want to say, like, you need someone of Wolverine's level of harshness with you in order to be like one of your critics. But I want someone obviously way smarter than Wolverine, who's basically just a goofy meathead in my mind. Wolverine isn't really a great thinking character. If I need someone to get things done and I need things to get done immediately, there is nobody else that I'm going to be picking to be like, all right, cool. You go ahead, go get that done, go have some fun. If I need a thinking man, I'll be like, hey, Magneto, Beast, can you read this? Tell me what's going on. Why is my script failing? For like Rebel Moon, I would have those characters be my thinkers. And then obviously I probably also have Aurora take a look at it because she is no slouch at all in the intelligence department. She is an Omega level mutant and she's been through some stuff and she knows some things that would just absolutely shock and baffle you in any single way, shape, or form. And she's just straight up a badass. So the fact that she was the character that took this hit for Magneto goes to show you kind of like the level of risks they're willing to take for this show. And we are like 2 minutes away from going out and getting that started. For obvious reasons, I can't show you it directly on the screen. I'll be talking about the episode as it's going on. So once the episode drops, I'll drop it in the chat, let you guys know, hey, the episode is launched. Go ahead and start watching along with me. Let's talk about it. Let's enjoy all things geek together. We're all just part of, Geek Variants here. All we're striving to do is have a good sense of community. We like talking about all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. We just want to have a good, encouraging atmosphere to where you can just be like, hey, I'm a geek. I am passionate about Iron Man because of XYZ thing. We kid with Will that Iron Man sucks all the time because that's just his favorite character and it's just something that kind of irritates him to some degree. He always gives me crap because he's like, he thinks Lord of the Rings is terrible, even though it's the greatest trilogy on planet Earth that has ever been made. You can fight me on it. I will argue all the live long day. They are the greatest films that have been put forth in a trilogy, period. And that's including the trilogy that most people hold up there, which would be the Star Wars trilogy, because I think A New Hope was honestly boring. But hey, generation gap between old geeks and me. I was born and able to see the prequels in theaters, so I'll do with that information what I will. And then Tony, we just give a hard time because, man, I love him to death, but he's old. But also, he's got more geek knowledge that he's forgotten than geek knowledge I've learned. So can't really do much with that. Can't really, flip him too much crap. So we just kind of encourage a community where you can, have fun, be a geek, be yourself, express yourself, talk with us, chat with us, leave comments on videos you like, leave comments on videos you hate. Tell us why you hate them. One of my most hated videos I've ever made is one of the most popular videos we've ever done on this channel. The Rings of Power, the sword video I made, the audio was garbage. The video was terrible. The editing by me was some of the worst I think I've ever seen, period. And of course, that's one of the videos that has like the most views out there on the channel. So you have to just sit there and take it and just be like, well, it is what it is. Oh, we have the episode has officially dropped. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that in both chats. We're going to see episode 4. It is a part 1 has dropped. So just so we're aware, we have Motendo Life or Death. Part 1 has just dropped. I dropped it in the chat. I'll be looking off and watching the episode, talking about it. Leave your guys' thoughts in the description below with your comments, likes, dislikes, any of all that good stuff. If you're unsubscribed or you're not following, be sure to do so. Appreciate you guys. And it just startled me. The volume I have on in my headset. Love it. Love to see. Because we're going to be focusing a lot more on Roberto, it seems, this episode than anybody else. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Also, I do love that they put more respect on Scott this season, so it's kind of nice to see. But also, just to be that guy, I don't know why anyone would ever be ashamed of being a powerful mutant. I would be flexing on everybody, but also I would probably be a more Magneto side of things than like Charles's side. Just so everyone's clear. This Forge just popped in. That's gonna be super interesting because I know the comic storyline because of Tony that they're going with, and then I kind of read up some of it. I'm not all the way through it, but it looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be a spicy time, very interesting time. And the opening for it to be as classic as it is, super nice touch. But also, is it just me or is Morph like stupid powerful now? Because not only being able to portray someone, but being able to portray them and all their powers, like that's interesting. That is crazy powerful. And the fact that they're going through Bishop's storyline is going to be super interesting to see how that play out. Once X-Men 97 is finished, we'll switch over to Star Wars The Bad Batch, just so everyone's clear. I'm going to be watching both. Well, we're going to start with X-Men first. Went with the one I'm more excited about, Do Not Tell Tony, or Will That. I don't want to have to hear about that for a long time. They don't watch this anyway, so it'll be fine. It is nice that they're making a wholesome moment for her right now, which means something tragic's going to happen. Wolverine holding muffins is just weird. Just seems wrong. Nice impression. Yes. Yes. Mm. Motendo. When they say video games are bad, you should just show them this clip. Because otherwise, video games are amazing. I don't care what people say. I know people say they go to the mansion to like get relief and comfort and a sense of community. The mansion just gets destroyed on like a nightly basis. Like, why do we bother at this point? Like, what are we doing? This guy's got the same overconfidence Wolverine does, or Gambit. It's like a teleportation thing, kind of like in and out, like a port key in Harry Potter. Lucky he missed on that one. Ruined his jacket though. The game is malfunctioning. Mm. Game wall. You cannot pass back this way. Once you pass forward, you can't go back. I'm with him. Ah, interesting compliments there. Sounds like Disney's inner monologue. Ready Player One. He doesn't seem like the most vile villain, but he's definitely not right. Just so we're clear. I love these graphics though. I'm not even a front. Tony's gonna have a straight freaking flashback with this. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, Jubilee is destroying him right now. Ratings make him bigger, or is it their approval rating? Someone's got to answer me that in the chat. He scores a lot better this time. Hmm. Interesting. She's not taking anything seriously, but she's also 18, so perfect timing. Master of Magnetism versus her. Not a good matchup for her overall, based on the skill set. Nice hit. He took one shot and basically dies. Strong mutant, huh? That's a health token. Yeah. He's not happy. Yeah. It's always fun when you have a boss who slowly comes back. Superhero landing. They do the superhero landing. Wolverine, Gambit hanging out. Okay. Oh, Emerald Jubilee is our hero. All right. She definitely went a hard rock edgy look. Kind of a downer for your 18th birthday, we'll say though. Yes, yes, they do. Not hating on video games. No. Wow, slid in a fat joke. All right. Body shaming. Ah, my goodness. But I mean, yeah, they're not wrong. That was nice. Why have you not been doing that from start? You're in a video game. Go crazy. The classic video game music's a really great touch. Super cool. Definitely a bit of a nightmare though. Not what I consider ideal. Also, still didn't explain how they got in a room, but whatever. We'll just avoid that elephant. Oh, the minute she turns 18. Life, Death, Part 1. The majestic owl soars over the cabin. Looks like a nice meal, actually. Ooh, bison chili. I'm in. Like, okay, I don't do spice though. I am. My body doesn't handle that. I could use a new toaster. I wonder if he could download like recipes and stuff and be like, great chef. Oh, he's got a robot. Like, didn't notice that before. Yeah, half and half on one side. Why is there a bird in your house staring at you? do not trust owls inside. I'm just saying. If owls talk to you in the woods, don't talk back to them. No. Mm-mm. Out. There, feel the wind on her skin. Probably is great for her considering her nature thing was just changed. You'd hope horses stop naturally on their own. Heck of a view. Okay, that's kind of a downer for their romantic evening. Good little flashback picture there. Be sure to notice that one. Pause it there. Take a look. Basically, mark it down for 2021 for you guys. Like Forge just farts in this moment. Hmm. I actually feel bad for Storm, but like if this happened to like Rogue, I'd just be like, meh. Anyway, there's certain characters you just mess with more than the others. No, and then his device was used on her. He straight up lied. Straight up lied. Things moved fast. Nice lap though. 10 out of 10 slap. Great connection. Just firm enough to be fair. Nightmare? I don't know how Cliff is part of a house, but all right. Eh, things went badly. You think some guy can invent things into better than that? Remember what I said about owls? 100% brilliant. So she needs to really get over her despair like yesterday. Nothing in the post credits for anybody wondering. Will there be a second part that they're dropping with this one? No, it looks not. I'll hit refresh just to be sure. Don't want to make sure I got all the content for you. So definitely a more edgy episode in some senses, but in others fairly safe. I would say that this episode I put on a par with episode one, where it was good, but it wasn't mind blowing. Episode two and episode three for me were top notch quality, but I mean, this show is not bad at all by any means, by any shape, by any form. He's been great. I don't know Jack about Motendo. I'll have to ask Tony about it at another point in time once he's caught up. So I'll have to wait till later tomorrow. That's definitely interesting. And then now we have this person who's saying that they're going to feast on Aurora's basically her depression, her wailing, her pain, her suffering. So that's going to be interesting to see. Got a lot of great stuff for that one. A lot of good questions you can ask from it, things you can kind of gleam from things, if you will. And it turns out that the Bad Batch was a 2 episode dropper. So looks like I'm going to be up far later than I intended. Hooray! But I'm going to start Bad Batch now. So I'll drop that in chat. Watching both Bad Batch episodes now. If you guys have any comments about the episode, go ahead and drop them below. Pertaining to X-Men 97, let me hear what your thoughts, see what you're thinking. Have a good time about things. Let's get this another hour of coverage, and then I'll have a episodic breakdown of Bad Batch after every episode for moving forward as well, just so everyone is clear on coverage. Not going to skip it, even with new job. So focus on making sure you guys get the content you deserve when you hit that lovely red subscribe button or you followed us on Twitch. Want to make sure all content is there for you, the viewer. YouTube's where primarily most of the content is. We're trying to get YouTube built up and then continue to get as much stuff out for Twitch as possible. I've been trying to make sure you guys are very well taken care of as best of my abilities. I'm one man trying to do a lot of things right now to help you guys out. Anytime they show a cute kid for Star Wars: The Bad Batch, like something terrible is like about to happen. Is this kid's force sensitive? Probably. That's with his mind. Because the Empire shows up. This guy just wants to go get paid. And plus, he just had a face thrown at him. So he's going to be extra bad. This looks like someone who's struggling. I wonder if they're going to send Fennec or Asajj for that. Oh, we're finally going back to this planet. Thank goodness. Hemlock has been benched all season. That's Tech's body right there. That is literally tech schematics. She's literally just older Omega, just so everyone's clear. It's not going to be like a huge surprise on that one. I think somehow, someway, she's just older Omega. More rapidly accelerated growth process for Omega without the Bad Batch's guidance. They're not taking defense lightly. I don't care who you have, you're not getting in. Well, there's a couple characters that can get in, but not anyone we have in our show right now. Force sensitive children. Color me shocked. Okay, so it's not. So she's used as a binding agent, so that doesn't necessarily mean she's force sensitive per se. Mm. Hemlock is definitely going to be up there with Scrooge for the person who hates kids the most. Maybe up there with Cruella de Vil for who hates puppies. And the Green Kid is planning a breakout, which Dr. Carr is going to unknowingly end up helping out. Happy Kid. Dark episode. Here we go. Because everyone's said the last 3 or 4 episodes of Bad Batch is going to be the darkest episode Star Wars have seen. So be ready for some emotions, folks. Buckle up and hold on to your butts. That's Cad Bane. That is straight up Cad Bane. I love anytime Cad Bane's in anything. I hate to be that guy right now. What he's doing is heinous, but he's just the best at what he does. Anytime there's a payday involved, he'll do it. And he's good at his job. The baby carrier, 9,000. You can't like reclose the thing. There you go. I was gonna say like the kid doesn't need to see this. Oh, it's your neighbor. Oh, yeah. Going up to his house with a sledgehammer, saying hello. Tomorrow, a couple whoop ass. Batman on vacation. She was on break. She went out to get some air. You're never going home, kid. You're gonna die here. That's just the reality of the Empire. If Palpatine wasn't so vile, like things wouldn't have been this bad. He sees jailbreak. Uh, Yep. Nope. Kid's gonna make a rash decision. Yeah. I mean, clones, if by nature, just tend to get the mission objective. Just good soldiers follow orders. Everyone's being evil. Kid is literally unconscious. They're still like, your blood will be fine. No, he's in trouble. Don't give someone with a soft disposition for kids the job of being their tyrannical ruler. It's not a good job. And then now that there's going to be a baby here, things are going to get worse. Nope, you do not. They do not belong there. Not necessary nonetheless. What's her name one more time? Something Marie. Emery. Which means they have a very sordid past where things got out of hand. She's a clone, just like Omega, like she said earlier, but with accelerated growth. So she's already an adult. And now she's done the dark road that Mala Nala Se couldn't. Yikes. Or Mean Omega couldn't. Governor Tarkin. Grand Moff Tarkin. One of the greatest Star Wars villains out there, even with minimal screen time. Oh, we're gonna get screen time. I like this. This is good. Mm. The Empire was always such heavy-fisted, suck-up corporate work environment that it's shocking to see like how things are going. That is going to be Echo. Just so we're clear. Calling that bright and early. We never saw a body. He found the glasses. Project Necromancer raising the dead, which would be tech, so to speak. So just Got this on lock, so everyone's aware. So they're not too far from Coruscant. Sorry if you see me guys writing a lot. I'm just taking notes, so I make sure I got my breakdown to be thorough and accurate to my best knowledge. Campaign. Yep. CAD gives you no personal information, but gives you the answer you're looking for. Good job, CAD. Another great payday for him. Not much else you can really say about it. I think that thing's ventilated because otherwise that kid would have died. Project Necromancer to bring him back. This would tug at you emotionally, though, to be doing this to children day in and day out. Empire is as by the book as it gets. He was like, "You lied to me." He's being punished. Yep, she's mad. In her eyes, you're the only person she's ever trusted at this moment, and now this happened. Gotta call her Eva. There it is. They said they were gonna pull the heartstrings. They didn't say this hard immediately. Gonna need to build more cells with how many kids they're getting. The dark side of science. Advancement, but at what moral cost? She still has Omega's doll. Their connection has to be so much deeper than what they're showing at this moment in time. Ain't gonna lie though, Isolation probably sounds nice from getting away from work for a little bit. Give the doll to Eva as a good faith token. Not sure that not all things are bad, and that'll be something to get her by. I don't know how you can convince a droid to do that and get it through security, but all right. I think the reality of it and the emotional thing they were trying to do are two separate things. Because now Dr. Carr is taking on the mother figure role. When if you're going to be an evil scientist, just be an evil scientist. So that episode was good, and it's a good start for the dark path we're going to be going because the only character that we know for a fact survives this season is Rex. So the fact that now we're going to be going towards the finality of this series, who's making it out? Don't know. Starting episode 11, Point of Return now. For anyone still up in chat, got a lot of people watching. Thanks for watching. You don't always have to chat back. Chatting back, though, is cool if you feel like it. I can talk to myself with the best of them. Check out more water. Point of no return. Rebel scum. This is not Panta 4. It's always cool that they sometimes shove like home planets on like a meteor. So, oh, she's coming back. Great actress, great voice actress too. Happy she's going to be returning. Mm. She's the target because she's got the emotional connection of Mega. That makes sense. I won't push you in next time. That's a like a flash drive to take information off the ship. And that was the alarm. Just got silenced. Uh, is he waiting for a quick fill up on it seems? Mhm. So far, so good with all of the content. Been a good night for it. So right now, Bad Batch is shining. X-Men 97. Hmm? She has her own private fill-up station. Very nice. Very, very nice. Nice knife she had there. Wonder where she got it. I think the flash drive was supposed to hack how it drove, so this assassin will be able to pick up the coordinates where she's going because she's going to go where the Bad Batch is here shortly. It'll be a cool way of tracking them down. Trying to use the history of what? And the Empire's gonna seize the day. Asajj just left, so things are gonna get extra interesting. They're gonna head off on a mission, hopefully in time, so they miss. Seems like a nice, quiet little town, somewhere you'd want to retire to, and now it's gonna be raided by the Empire because that's how business is done. Better making friends out here. Fantastic. And Hunter's right. Usual good instincts. They are just yanking on the heartstrings today. Because they brought Tex glasses back into play, so you start thinking about him, and then when he shows back up later on in this episode, you'll be like, "Oh no, what a shock!" They turned like one of the most dangerous monsters in Star Wars into a pet. I don't care what you say, Omega's got some level of skill. This might be Tex dainty little fingers. Same cave Asajj was in. Like, no one ever thought to like seal that off. Nobody. I don't think going on foot is a good idea for his part, but whatever. If his mission is only to get Omega, then they should be watching her a little bit more intently. Yeah, I still would have kept eyes on target as opposed to, hey, hang out with your girl bestie, things will be fine. I understand emotionals and saying goodbyes, all that stuff, but if you're worried about her safety, actually covering her safety would be paramount. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah, the platoon's going to be on its way in. The assassin sounds insanely like Crosshair, insanely like him, but they're trying to throw you off. Or if they did, then it's just literally Crosshair swap out. Then dang, I, I would just feel so stupid at that moment. Interesting to see how things are going. Oh boy. Are they really gonna kill everyone's favorite idiot first? Sorry for that spit there. My gosh. No manners on my part. Yeah, you have. He's just unconscious for now. And the Empire's here. This whole planet's gonna be demolished because of Clone Force 99. Well, this was a happy planet. They're going full chips on the table here for this one. Yep. This is nuts. Yeah, I mean, this is the Empire. This is what they do. Hmm. There's so many wild cards. She's gonna get captured. So carrying that big lug is gonna be impossible, though. And then commandeering one of those ships is gonna be next to impossible. Oh, they brought machine guns. They brought machine guns. Okay. They mean absolute business. My God. He's sleeping. That'll be fine. Maybe. He needs to get in there before the doors close. Hmm. And covers blown. Oh, nice pick. Goodbye. Has to be. Well, he's gonna put it down. It's like we're blown though, for sure. That's a problem. This is a suicide mission. Crosshair just doesn't want to lose her because this is like his new daughter. Explaining this to Hunter though is not going to go over easily. He's gonna be pissed. It is amazing that there's an entire city full of people that will not sell you out. But not the third. Where is she hiding it? Like, dude, you just handcuffed me. I can't do it. Sorry, sorry. Does anyone have the courtesy to say that as you're being escorted out? Isn't that gun taller than the wall? I want to be that guy, but holding it like this, you're gonna get seen. You need to keep it at the ready, but like, you know, Would have worked better. I will say their autopilot systems for their ships are so cool. Super awesome. But again, I don't even trust like an autopilot on a car nowadays. So it's like, you add flying into the mix. Nah, I'm good. But also, never been inside the like a cockpit of an actual aircraft, so I don't know how high end they really are. Come on, Crosshair, don't miss. Oh, you missed. Oh my god. That's that's good. That is a really good episode. Definitely a tough one to be left on, though. I'm not going to front. But we're basically nearing the finale, and well, I'm just going to assume the finale is going to be dark and going to be a bit emotional. So we'll get ready for that. So you finish up the everything there. We're good here. Close out of that. I'm basically ready for my breakdown, which I'm going to have covered for you guys here shortly. Thank you for everyone who has checked out videos thus far, or at least hung out with me for this long live stream that was longer than anticipated. I didn't realize it was a double episode for the Bad Batch, which is terrible planning on my part, so that's on me. I'll have the next episode covered for you guys next week. Will have you in great hands for tomorrow night's Invincible, and we'll have the X Men 97 breakdown later on tomorrow with your expert on all things X Men, Tony, in the afternoon, most likely. But now I'm going to wrap this one up, get my Star Wars review up, and I will see you guys in the near future. I'll probably be on that X Men coverage.